What can you tell me about the working conditions here at Amazon?
The work here, well, they pretend to care a whole lot about safety, but that's just their alibi. They don't care about safety. All they care about is the rate that they put out a day, and that is why people are getting hurt every single day. Everyone is getting hurt every single day. And the equipment is always broken because they don't want to pay anyone to replace it. They'd rather replace us when we can't meet rate. They'd rather fire us and replace us with another person who probably won't be able to meet rate either. And we're just disposable to them.
And one more thing, what can you tell me about the union busting that they do here?
It's, in one word, it's despicable. It's manipulative, it's malicious, and it's abusive. And it should be illegal, honestly. As I come into work, every TV, every place at the lunch break area has a placard of why you should vote no. On my way in, I see 16 stands saying, "Oh, we highly encourage you to vote no." I was trained, I was given an orientation on my second day or first day, I can't even remember. They flew in 2 people from Dallas to tell us of why they strongly encouraged us to not support the union. And they told us all kinds of lies, like the union is third party and things like that. The union busting is bad, and it's constant.
What would it mean, having a union behind you, since Amazon is obviously kind of exploiting you?
Yeah, I mean, it means everything in the world. It means the difference between being able to force this company to sit down and improve wages and improve working conditions and having a seat at the table, and not having that, and just letting things continue and letting them lie and letting them tell you, "Oh, we're working on it safety-wise. Oh, we really care." They don't care. Nothing's going to actually force them to pay us well, give us safe working conditions, unless they're forced to sit at the table and negotiate. And the only way that happens is with a union.
And give me your thoughts, maybe a message to, the suburban mom who gets their yoga mat in 3 hours, or all the dudes who just got Amazon Prime for football on Thursdays. Obviously they don't want bad things to happen to the workers, but what's your message to those who it's kind of out of sight, out of mind? Maybe they don't know the true scope of what you're dealing with here.
Yeah, I guess for customers at Amazon, the thing that I'd really like people to sit and think about more than anything is, that 2-day free shipping or that 1-day overnight shipping. The only way that's happening is because a starvation waged worker is getting injured trying to get you your package within 2 days. That's the only reason that's happening.
You've really had a tough few years, medical problems, which you could talk about. And unsurprisingly, Amazon's not been so kind. Tell me about what you've been dealing with the last few years.
Well, I started here October of 2020, right in the middle or near in the stages of the pandemic. I couldn't find any other job anywhere. Amazon kept texting me with job offers. So I finally came down, interviewed, took the drug test, and got hired in October of 2020. I found out December 31st of 2020 that I have aggressive prostate cancer. And I was treated with that in 2021 with 44 rounds of radiation treatment. I would go to radiation at 7:30 in the morning. I would come here to work by about 8:20 in the morning. I probably missed about 2 or 3 days of work in that time period. And then about a little more than a month ago, there was an incident in which I kicked a box. I kicked an empty box that was on the floor. I kicked it out of frustration, and I wasn't directing it at anybody. It was just taking frustration out on an empty box. And I got called by Amazon HR telling me that I was under investigation for workplace violence. A few days later, they called me and told me that I was terminated effective immediately for violation of that workplace violence policy. They told me on the phone that I had no right to an appeal.
Who was the victim, the box?
Exactly. I questioned HR and I said, was it the box that complained about my activity? And they didn't seem to take the humor too lightly. So anyways, they told me that I had no right to an appeal, that my benefits, my insurance benefits, which I obviously was relying on, would end September 30th at the end of the month. So I lost those last Friday. And then the kicker was last Monday I got notified that they denied my unemployment benefits.
I think they targeted you because you're involved with the union effort?
I think they targeted me because at the time I wasn't really supporting the union as much as I was speaking out against the anti-union activities that were going on inside the building. They would put notices on the tables in the break rooms, flyers saying, vote no, vote no. This is what happens if you sign a union card. They would put notices up on the TV screens. They would send text messages every single day after work. They would send out emails. And I was outspoken about how aggressive Amazon was in fighting this union drive.
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.